Person A and person B were playing a game. Person A would say the answer, and person B would say a question that corresponded with that answer. Person A said 85 deaths and 58 injuries. And then person B said, how many deaths and injuries have been responsible by self-driving cars? Yes, that is tragic. And some people wondered, now in 2025, where we have very good technology and we have engineers that are smart enough to make self-driving cars. But as Americans, we come to the question, is that really a reasonable thing? Are we ready for self-driving cars? And the answer is a hard no. The first reason comes from common sense. Machines malfunction. All of them. Your toy robot when you were little, ChatGPT, Google. For example, a ChatGPT magazine said 5 things to be aware of, and one of them was malfunctioning. For example, a guy asked ChatGPT how many L's are in parallel, and he wrote 2. Then the guy wrote him back, no, there are 3 L's in parallel. He said, oops, I messed up. Next, he asked ChatGPT, are there any letters X in triangle? And he said, yes, there's a letter X in triangle, after having the correctly spelled word triangle after. He said, no, there are no X's in triangle. He deleted ChatGPT after that, knowing that it did not know as much as he thought it would. And he trusted OpenAI that ChatGPT would know everything. And for us as Americans, ChatGPT is one of our smartest sources. Which also makes us wonder, because if ChatGPT is the smartest AI we have today, and cars are powered by the same AI that messed up and thought there was an X in triangle, how does that make it safe? How does it make us know as Americans that we can trust these cars that we don't even have any control over? How do we know that our children are going to be safe as 15-year-olds or 16-year-olds or 21-year-olds just driving around in these cars they can't even control? And the worst part is you're just trusting it because you think that you can trust the engineers, because you think you can trust people. And that brings us to our second point. What's going to happen when there's a malfunction and they have an accident? It's not going to work. So, the car owners are going to sell it to the car buyers. Then, they're going to get in an accident. The car sellers are going to get sued. Eventually, after selling thousands of these cars, he's going to get sued so much that he'll be put out of business. But for people who sell regular cars, if you sold a car and then someone went in an accident, there's no trace that you had anything to do with it because they were driving the car. But on car companies like Waymo, when you get in an accident, they have to get sued because it's their AI that was controlling the car and that made it malfunction. It's like OpenAI gets sued when it tells kids to commit suicide because it's their AI that made that person die and it's their fault. there is nothing that you can't say that it was the person driving's fault, because there was actually no driver, and at the end of the day, there's only one it's actually someone's fault. And then that person, and then us Americans, we have to deal with that pain that one of our loved ones died, and we also have to know that it was because of our trusted technology that we have trusted all these years, that we sent our kids in, that we thought would protect them and make things safer for them. And another reason is traffic would probably be much worse. I mean, just think about it. And then my last and final reason is that in common sense, slowly the age for people to be able to drive cars is lowering. But now with automatic driving cars, there might be a time, maybe in 2060 or 2050 or even 2030, where they're going to have 10-year-olds going in automatic cars by themselves, and that's not safe. We can't let it go to that. That's too far. In the end of the day, there's no good side to automatic cars. It's not good for the person who's selling it, it's not good for the person who's buying it, and it's not good for the people around it. Because if someone's in a regular car and they get hit with the automatic car, it's not even their fault for buying the automatic car. It's the company's fault. It's not the person who's driving the car. So at the end of the day, it doesn't benefit any of our American citizens. It doesn't benefit any of the United Nations. It doesn't benefit anyone out of anything. It makes life sadder and harder, and it makes people suffer, and it makes people want to cry, and at the end of the day, it would be much more effective to get rid of self-driving cars. And that's why self-driving cars is a hard no.